Joining me tonight is Congressman Tim Ryan of Ohio. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight. We're going to be doing a documentary later on coming up here on MSNBC in the coming months. The steel industry, America's middle class. I mean, we keep talking about saving the middle class. We allow industries like this to get hit with an unequal playing field with folks like South Korea, where we've got a trade agreement. You wonder what the future is. How bad is the Department of Commerce's decision for the American steel industry as it is now?
Well, it's very hurtful. I mean, you heard it from Leo Gerard and our friends in the Steelworker Union up in Lorain. It's important to remember, those jobs are $22 an hour. We're talking about getting the minimum wage up to 10. These guys make $44,000 a year, Ed, and that's without any overtime. You could make $50,000, $55,000 a year. If you have a spouse working, making another 20 or 30, you can have a decent life, making 75 or 80 grand a year. That's what's important about the steel industry. And so this omission here by the Department of Commerce is very hurtful because it lets Korea off the hook. And I don't know why that happened. And we saw in Youngstown, just down the road from Lorain, when the ITC put tariffs on Chinese tubing, same oil country tubular goods, we saw $1 billion steel mill get invested in Youngstown, Ohio. That's what happens when you have firm trade policies with these countries. And now we're seeing the opposite of what happens when you don't enforce trade laws and level the playing field. You get job loss and good, solid middle-class job loss.
Well, John Boehner runs around, and he's from Ohio, saying, asking the question, where are the jobs? But he never talks about bad trade agreements, and this is a product of a lousy trade agreement. Now let's talk about the quality. How about the product coming from South Korea versus the product here made in America? What about quality?
Well, I don't think anyone can compete at this point, especially in oil country tubular goods. And we have a competitive and comparative advantage in this field right now. And we see what's happening with exploration in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, in upstate New York. These steel companies would prefer to be around where that's happening right now. And the bottom line is that these policies hurt investment into the United States. There's absolutely no question about it, and you're going to get an inferior product. And the bottom line is, when you're talking about oil and gas, you have to make sure that it is well regulated, and you have to make sure that the products are solid, or that's when you end up having problems.
You know, this just isn't about steel workers. Here's the ripple effect.
What's the response of the people in the community when news like this comes out? They're middle-class jobs. They're manufacturing jobs.
Something as simple as going to get your hair cut. You hear the lady, the hairdresser, say, I hear there's layoffs coming. And then she has it prepared because her business is going to go down. At the restaurants, at the gas stations. It's a decent paying living wage job affects 3 to 4 people in the community automatically, right away.
So, Congressman, this is a product of the South Korean trade deal. And here we are watching the corporatists and watching the Republicans tell us that we got to do the TPP. Your thoughts?
Right. Same. We're going to go down the same road here if we continue with the bad trade deals and the lack of enforcement. It's one thing to have trade deals when there's firm, solid enforcement, immediate enforcement. Not only do we have to make the right decisions, we've got to expedite the decisions, because the steel industry and the steel workers, it takes gobs of money to even try to get this heard. Hire the lawyers, go through the entire process, and it never seems to be done in a timely fashion. So that's one of the issues as well. We should not go down to the road with the other Pacific countries there. And if we do, which I'm afraid we're going to, we better damn well be ready to enforce these agreements.
It's a race to the bottom. Congressman Tim Ryan of Ohio with us tonight. Thanks so much.